song. But yeah, it's right before the first hour. Anyway, no, yeah, rarely do you get hit in the face or whatever. I think more. I think what Bomber's trying to say is that when she's asking me about my daughter playing fast pitch, that they wear masks out in the field.
Yeah, we never.
And
did.
it went from like a pitcher doing it to now like they all wear, and it's just something they get used to, face mask. And then the girls went to, I believe, like in the early 2000s when they're batting, they wear over their face. Now, does high school boys baseball? They don't.
My two boys play Little League at Southeast Little League. Nobody wears them.
Yeah.
There's nothing for the boys.
Yeah, but the girls, they all have them over there for some reason. I don't know.
We never did that. We just knew to get out of the way.
Yeah, I know.
Or catch it.
Is that, I don't know, is that sexist in a way?
Yeah. It's totally sexist.
To be like, you're too pretty to get hit in the face?
Yeah, it's
and
sexist.
The funny thing is the balls fly off the bats much harder in boys baseball because a baseball is much smaller and denser. So the girls who have to wear the masks, the fast pitch softballs and the bats they're using, the trajectory of the speed of the ball coming off the bat is nowhere near what the boys are dealing with, but the boys don't have to wear masks.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They're just, and it's also kind of saying that they're better, they're more agile and they're better reflexes because they can stop the ball. Girls need help because we can't get to it in time. Better protect that mug.
I don't know. I followed the trend. I was against it. But, if you ask my daughter, she doesn't want to have a mask when she's out in the field. But,
no.
People are like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, it's not mandatory, but we do it anyway.
Do you get them bumpers when they go bowling too?
No, I don't get them bumpers when they go bowling. The baseball season is upon us, Jimmy. Mm-hmm. Are you excited? Yesterday, a friend of yours, Christopher Walken, called in and said, hey, they play the games and most valuable is most valuable. Are you excited about first pitch tomorrow?
No.
You're not?
Baseball is still my favorite sport.
Uh-huh.
And it probably always will be because of the first 40 years of my life. But I have to admit, I haven't really been excited about a baseball season for almost 25 years. Something happened in the summer of 1994 with the strike.
That really resounded that much?
Before 1994, I could name every player on every team, and I could tell you every stat, and I just loved it. I went to bed thinking about baseball. Okay. I woke up thinking about baseball. And after the strike of 1994, when they separated into three divisions, East, Central, and West, and all of a sudden you had all these new teams coming in, and all of a sudden everybody said, hey, let's get rid of our unique colors and everybody be navy blue or black.
Back to the colors.
Let's get rid of the stirrups. Everybody wear pajama pants. And then on top of it, the best players should have to play. They should. But you had the Latin invasion come in, and every team has two or three Rodriguez's, Gonzalez's, Ordonez's, and everybody's wearing the same color pajama pants and hats, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't even know what team or players I'm watching.
No.
It lost its spice.
No.
And these players are great. These Latin players are amazing. They're great, but it's if when I was growing up in the 80s, if there was 5 or 6 players with the last name of Brett, George Brett Spice wouldn't have been what it was. Okay?
No, that's Jimmy.
No? Well, I'm just telling you. This is why I lost interest in
just because there's multiple last names or whatever doesn't mean the team that you follow.
It wouldn't be bad if the teams kept unique colors and uniforms, and then all of a sudden, all these glorious,
but the team
historical,
you follow, the Royals,
sudden,
it's fine.
You know what
Everything else is
you know what else
your
happened
team.
around 1994? All these glorious historical ballparks with memories that I had got torn down, and they got remade with these, hey, we're going to be retro and throw back to the old school, but they all look the same. Started with Camden Yards, I think, in 1993.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all these other ballparks. Now, if you blindfold me and take the blindfold off and let me watch 2 seconds of a ball game, I can't tell you where the hell they're playing. And I don't know if it's the Detroit Tigers or the Seattle Mariners or the Minnesota Twins or the Boston Red Sox on the road.
I can tell you faster than you think. I can.
Why do you think they did that, though? Why do you think that is? What do you think the motivation behind all that was?
I don't know, Leah. That's a good question. I think people just wanted to keep up with the Joneses, if that makes any sense.
Conform.
People wanted to keep up with the Joneses.
Keep the line.
Camden Yards has this, and this. They have these many luxury boxes, these many suites, this big Jumbotron. We need to have that in order to keep up with them. And so once Camden Yards cast the gauntlet Every other city that had a major league team says, we got to do the same thing. And from there on out, history of baseball and passion of baseball and spice of baseball was lost.
Yeah.
And another thing that killed it was the way the free agent market twisted. Of course, Curt Flood started it in 71, which I detest.
There's a lot of reasons, but yeah.
But in the late 90s was the boom of the Red Sox and Yankees saying, you know what, we're just going to buy everybody and we're going to win all the World Series and we're going to beat our chests. We're going to beat our chests and say we're the World Series champions. But you know what? If I could go out in the playground when there was a dodgeball tournament and say, hold on, I get to pick the 10 best players on the entire playground, and then I win the tournament against all the freaking kids that have no athletic ability, should I beat my chest and say we won? No, I stacked the deck. I
Jimmy,
rigged it.
you sound old and like someone who doesn't
I am old.
that doesn't like appreciate the game. And who cares if they signed it? The players signed it. It's not like they were like, oh, the Red Sox picked them and no one else got to pick. The players got to sign wherever they wanted to.
Okay.
So
And
the
they all
Red
picked
Sox
and they all
came in
picked the
and
Yankees
did
and Red
something
Sox.
unbelievable.
They all picked the Yankees and Red Sox.
So the Red Sox did something that was unbelievable. Come back from down 3-0. And now all of a sudden, and they won 3-4 World Series since, but they get a pick. And how many since then? So that's in 16 years, only 4 World Series? But they get a pick from the best? The Yankees have won how many since then? 0. That's not that you can't make
What are you
those.
talking about? The Yankees won it in 96. They won
No,
it in
since
98,
since I said the
99,
2004.
2000. They won it in 2000. They won it in 2009 with A-Rod.
And they didn't win it this decade.
But here's the thing that you're missing. They went to the LCS or the World Series more than 50% of those years.
Because they chose to spend, and that's okay.
They chose to spend because they could spend.
If you blame it on the players then, because the players said there will never be
Hey, to quote Robert De Niro, let me finish.
Sure.
Let me finish. If you and I were brothers, Jay Foster, that'd be fun,
We are.
wouldn't it? If we were brothers, and our mother was very materialistic,
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted to know who could get her the best present, and you had $1,000 in your pocket and I had 10, you're going to beat me every time. Should you beat your chest about that? No, you had more money than me. Hence, the Yankees versus the Pirates and Royals and all these other small market teams, they said, screw you guys, we're going to buy up everything, and then we're going to beat our chests because we win. It was dirty pool.
It's politics.
It's dirty pool.
There will never be a salary cap. That's the players.
And nobody cared.
So you're on the owners on everything.
Look, I still love baseball. It's the greatest game in the world. I watch the postseason, but I have lost interest because it's a stacked game now. It's a stacked.
No, you need to turn around and blame people like the Marlins who sit there and will win one in 97 and 2003 and then turn around and fold and everything else.
I do blame them.
Blame them too. Don't blame the haves and not the have-nots. Blame the teams that don't draft well, and then when they do draft well, they'll ransack the entire minor leagues to make one run at it 1 year and to fall up short to these teams that you are talking about.
Is it money is the root of all evil or the love of money? Which one is it? I forget.
Ooh, both.
The love of money is the root of all evil. And you know who I blame for the downfall of Major League Baseball? And everybody's going to say, well, they're making more money now than ever. No, the sport is dying. I'm a school teacher. Kids don't give a crap about baseball. They think it's boring. A lot of it has to do with the lack of colors in the uniform. A lot of it has to do with the fact that these players play at a molasses pace. I watched the 1978 All-Star game in San Diego, California on YouTube the other day, and I was blown away. Vida Blue was the starting pitcher for the NL. Jim Palmer was the starting pitcher for the AL. And all of a sudden I realized, hold on, it's been 8 minutes, and they're in the bottom of the second inning. I mean, they cut out the commercial breaks, but my point was, these pitchers, even when they were warming up between innings, they kept their foot on the rubber. It was ball, boom, ball, boom, ball, boom. I'm ready. Get in there. The batters got in there. Their feet were in the box. They never left the box. You had a pitch every 3 or 4 seconds. These games were they were almost fast paced, and it was entertaining. And all of a sudden in the 1980s, and I blame it on batting gloves. Hitters said, you know what? Pitching's all about rhythm. We're going to disrupt these pitchers' rhythm by stepping out of the batter's box every single inning, every single pitch. We're going to step out, adjust our gloves, and all of a sudden, a 2-hour game becomes 3.5 to 4 hour game.
Or
kids have lost interest in the game. But Major League Baseball is going to say, we're still making a ton of money. It's because you're raping us. with $12 beers. You're
Or
raping
is
us
it that the
with
third
$50
base coach, the game's taken out third base coach because he has to look into the bench coach, so the bench coach has to get the thing from the head coach who has to relay a sign back to the third base coach instead of just giving the game to the third base coach.
Absolutely.
When you can take one step back, take a look at it and be like, or you know how well the game is or how your coaching philosophy is this situation, I need to bunt. So I can keep my right foot in the batter's box, take a step back in, take 2 cuts, ready, and do my routine to hit.
You're speaking my language now.
Yeah.
Just like catchers calling their games on their own.
Yes.
I mean,
I get what you're saying about the whole thing. Like, you're upsetting the timing, and now vice versa. Everyone's upsetting every other time. And it's going to take longer or whatever
But
else.
kids nowadays have lost interest in baseball, and Major League Baseball will say, "Well, we're making more money than we ever have before."
No, Major League Baseball does not say that because the owners say we're losing money because you don't go into. Look at the owner of the Cardinals said. He said you don't go into baseball to make money.
Well,
which is
they are
crazy.
making a ton of
They
money.
could, though,
They're all-
if they would
He's
if they would
lying.
make it more
He's
affordable for
They're
the average
making more money
person to
than
take
ever
their whole
because
family
they're
to a
paying
game.
bigger salaries than ever.
Yeah, he's
The
lying.
money's there. They're going to use that as a crutch. Well, what do you mean baseball's dying? There's more money in baseball now than there ever was before. It's because you're charging us $12 a beer. By the way, look at all these pistachios I ate.
I know, I saw that. Listen, they're doing and what they're doing is they're building more and more things. I talked yesterday about Globe Life Park, I believe it's. I don't want to misquote it.
That's another thing. If you asked me to tell you the names of any Major League ballparks other than Wrigley and Fenway and Yankee, I wouldn't know because I stopped giving a shit 10 years ago when every Major League club said, "Hey, every 2.5 months we're going to change our stadium's name."
Yeah, when they get and Houston's in trouble. They're the ones that started that when they started with Minute Maid and then it went to a couple
Enron,
other ones.
It was Enron.
Yeah,
But that's a good choice.
the Globe Life, this new park for the Rangers, and it really looks like. The problem is if you look at the outside, and I don't think you have seen it, it looks like the outside of a Costco.
I'm going to look it up.
Gross.
On the
Why would they do that?
I'll check and see if I still have it. So like it looks like a big box, but it really opens up nicely. And what they've done more is they've moved the suites back because more people are going suites. They've limited the amount of actual seats, more common areas, because that's what they think they're going to bring the 20 and 30-year-olds just to hang out and socialize. It's going to be a night at the ballpark.
Well, now with social distancing, that won't be very effective.
It's really funny that you say that because, like, right away when I said it, Cal's like, "Well, that really backfired," and I was like,
Yeah.
"I didn't even think about that. Like, there's no one going to be there." But yeah, they'll open up. I believe today is going to be their today's going to be their final their preseason game, and then I don't think they open up till Monday or whatever else.
You want me to tell you what else is wrong with baseball?
So I'm telling you else about this park, okay?
Is it the colors of the uniforms?
I think this is 13.6 miles away from City Hall, where it used to be like, I think 20 years ago, everything used to be like within like 2 miles of City Hall, meaning like if it's in a city, they're there type of thing.
Okay.
Now this one's further away because there's nothing around it because they're going to develop around it. Whereas Wrigley, they started buying everything around there.
Right.
The Ricketts did. They bought this area that they're going to develop hotels, restaurants, bars, everything around it. Yeah, and it's going to make it a destination. The game's evolving, Jimmy. That's just it. Like it's now a thing. I know what you're saying. Like, can we just get a beer and a dog, and it's going to cost like
certain things that get ruined if they evolve. The Grand Canyon, for instance. All right.
Yeah, it's not.
No, listen to me.
It's a natural thing. That's not a.
The Texas Rangers debuted Arlington Stadium. I don't know what year it was exactly, but it was in the mid-90s. They got 25 years.
94.
They got 25 years out of a multi-million dollar complex.
Mm-hmm.
This is all about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about wasting money. It's everybody has to have the biggest jumbotron. It's a bunch of little boys saying, "I got the biggest wee out of all of you." And what hurts here is when I was a little boy, and you're gonna say, "Oh, you're an old man now." When I was a little boy and I went to John O'Donnell Stadium, or I went to Wrigley Field with my dad, there was nothing to do except watch the baseball game.
That's how it should be.
There was no advertisements plastered
In my
everywhere.
opinion.
There was no bright neon signs. There was no jumbotrons. There was no pictures. There was no sausage races around the field. There was no merry-go-rounds or cartwheels or roller coasters or anything like this. You watched the game, so you learned to appreciate the game.
They always have mascots, though.
Yeah, you want to know one of the biggest reasons why baseball is failing with popularity? Because when you take your kid to a ballpark right now, there's 25,000 other stimulating things for the kid to look around and say, "You know what, Dad? 3 hours later, I didn't even see a effing pitch."
That's
I didn't see an
society.
effing pitch.
That's a society problem. That's everywhere. The immediate gratification and the serving. That's everywhere. That's not just baseball. I mean,
And
that's
this is a juggernaut that can't be stopped. You can't look at ballparks and say, you know what, just go back to the bare minimum.
you can't. Though. You got to keep up with the pace of society. And like I said, all these kids they have video games. They can put themselves in VR and they can be superheroes and they can do. I mean, it's just not the way we grew up. We were entertained by a lot less.
And our parents were entertained by a lot less than we were.
Exactly.
And their parents.
It's depressing,
and so on.
but it's the way it's going.
Can we eventually just say, hey, look, man, this car's now going 150 miles per hour in a 75 mile per hour speed limit zone. We need to slow it down. Slow it down.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
It's okay also to tell your children no when they see a Ferris wheel or whatever else. It's okay to say like no. When I hear people go like I can't go down to Modern Woodman Park because it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, it's okay to say no. Sit here.
But at the same time, when you say watch the next pitch sequence here, now it's much more difficult, almost impossible, because you said no to the Ferris wheel, but there's 15,000 other things over there distracting your kid.
Fair.
Baseball is the type of game that you really need to concentrate. And when you have all these distractions, I mean, it's like a psychotherapy lab that your kids I can't take my kids to a ball game and have them concentrate on the game because there's too many distractions. It's sad.
But that's life right now where we're at.
So say it's okay and say there's nothing wrong with it, or point the finger and say this is what's wrong. What do you want to do, Jay?
I'm just saying that's where we are. I'm just saying like instead of just being
it's
like
what
I'm
we are.
out of baseball for 25 years, I'm saying that it's okay to just relax and watch a game.
But
Instead of just be like I'm out.
At this
Instead of
pace,
saying like there's too many Rodriguez, there's too many this and that, there's too many like it doesn't compute.
well, people don't pick their last names.
Yeah, but
But my point was with that amount of same names from the Latin invasion, that mixed with the all navy blue hats and all gray pajama pants and all these new ballparks that look the same, all of a sudden,
pants.
I don't know what the F I'm watching. It all looks the same to me. And up till 1994, I could tell you every single guy's cleat size. And I mean, it was just so much more of an easy to recognize and easy to watch game because there was less distractions and everything looked different.
I will say this, that Erickson's right, and don't throw that pen at me like you just dropped a mic. I will say Erickson's right on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. The worst is seeing kids in their phones taking selfies and not watching the game.
But
That's
the best
terrible.
is seeing them getting nailed with a foul ball because they're watching.
That's the young ladies that are doing it that get hit with a foul ball.
Oh, the little boy didn't, and the dad didn't have
Yeah.
to block the bat that was flying back into the stands.
Can I ask you this?
8 inches.
Oh my lord!
That's a good one. Anyway, have you ever played fantasy baseball?
No, I have not.
That's why I can tell you I know more about individual stats in the last 20 years
Oh,
than a lot
I
of
don't
other
doubt
people.
you. I know you do.
Yeah. When you say like I know this and that, because I guarantee you, Jimmy, you and I were the same person looking at the Quad City Times, looking at our favorite players, looking at the box scores, because there was nothing better than that to be like, you know batting averages your head by looking at your favorite players and going 3 for 5 and doing the division in your head, right? And RBIs and everything else and what that means and all those things. So you and I grew up the same way. But I will say fantasy baseball has allowed me to be like, yeah, he hit this or he plays there or whatever else. Where even T-Roy, he like, I used to know players just like you. He's like, I used to know every player because we collected baseball cards. We memorized their stats on the back. We knew what position they played. We knew what team they were on consistently.
Where they were born,
Yeah.
how much
Yeah.
they weighed, everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the fun fact, and then ate that crappy gum. So now it's like you just kind of you're picking up players, you're looking whatever else. So it's pretty good. So
Yep.
maybe you should try fantasy baseball.
Well, here's why I don't like fantasy baseball.
Okay.
Just like I don't like fantasy football. I want to watch a game and absorb it for the simple beauty, almost like a Thoreau poem. I don't want to sit there and hope that player X and player Y, and in another game, player Z is doing well enough to where I'm going to win. It takes you away from the beauty and the simplicity of the game. When you have in baseball, X amount of players that you're hoping play well, all of a sudden your mind's not just sitting there enjoying the simplicity of
Everything
the game.
in moderation. When you do gamble on something every once in a while, it makes it more exciting.
Nah, maybe in head-to-head fantasy baseball, but not when you're in a category 5x5. It doesn't matter. It's just your team, but it's never taken away from me looking at the Twins and being like, "Oh, congratulations! I'm happy that that pitcher struck out Sano because I have that pitcher on there."
What is that thing?
5x5 is different than head-to-head. So.
What do they have in the NFL ticket or whatever? I mean,
red zone.
The red zone, right? Where you can see whenever team's in the red zone, it switches to that game.
Yeah.
You want to know?
Party with that
you want to know why ADHD and all these Prozacs and all these other things are flying off the roof? Because we've trained our kids now to watch 20 things at once. This is just another example. When I was a kid growing up and I watched TV, remember my parents didn't even. Well, they did have TV, but very little. My grandparents didn't even have TV. When I watched a television show growing up, all I saw was the show. Nowadays, when kids grow up, they're watching the show. There's a weather ticker. There's a pop-up icon up here of what's coming up next. There's the logo of the channel up here, and these things are changing constantly. These kids, their brains, by the time they're 5 or 6, are wired to be, they need 5 or 6 pieces of stimulation all simultaneously in order to feel like, okay, this is normal. Then you take them into a classroom and say, sit down and do these simple math problems. They can't do it because we're overloading these kids.
They can do it.
We're talking about the red zone.
They're teaching you to do it, and there's someone that comes in with a grant and says, like, this is how you do it. When I was teaching, and we'll go back to it again, they were like, here's what you have. You have 7 minutes. You have 7 minutes with the student. And they're like, do you know why you have 7 minutes? And I'm like, I don't know. Why do I have 7 minutes? They're like, because a television show has 7 minutes before it goes to commercial break. And what you're saying is completely right. Everything else, there's overstimulated, bottom line, or whatever else. But teachers evolve, lesson plans evolve, or whatever else. I mean, they were telling me then, like, you only have 7 minutes to get your point across. Until then, their attention span is gone.
But we're now allowing all these outlets for this to thrive, like the red zone in the NFL. What's next? What's next?
Adults watch the red zone. Kids don't watch the red zone. I mean,
okay, adults, who were once kids. What's going to happen next? We're going to have the ultimate, ultra, mega red zone now, where you can watch all the games from 10 years past when they're in the red zone all at once. We're just, it's like cocaine. You want more and more and more of it.
Nobody's watching that. We have it on in the background because the wife and I play fantasy football. It's not like we watch it. We just have it on doing things around the Sunday.
All I know
it's like
is
growing up listening to American country top 40 countdown. It's on the background.
When I watched the 1978 All-Star game on YouTube, it was therapeutic.
The best time ever.
It was like going to the Grand Canyon by yourself with nobody else there and hearing the wind blow. You saw the game for what it was. Hold on a second. All these teams, all these players have completely different color uniforms in the All-Star game. There's not one advertisement
I don't like that.
anywhere.
I agree with you.
There's not one advertisement anywhere. And the pitchers are throwing a pitch every 3 seconds. Whoa. It's a completely different game. And it's beautiful. And it's simple.
No, I agree with you.
And we have created a monster now where our kids will never experience that. And whether you want to talk about the NFL hot zone or red zone or, all these advertisements on the fields, it's ruined the games.
But think about the All-Star game. Then they can auction it off. They can do whatever else. Or you have it. Now you have the Mike Trout All-Star jersey for $45. Yep. I'm not going to wear a jersey. I'm not going to put a jersey of someone else's name on my back. It's fine. That's just me. That's the way I am. But that's what happened. And I would rather see, the way I grew up, different uniforms all over. That'd make me happy. But I understand why they're doing it. I mean, I understood in 95 when Jordan came back wearing 45. It had nothing to do with baseball. I knew that he was going to sell. He was going to be the number one seller. And then as soon as he came back with 23, that was going to be the number one.
I understood it too, but I didn't agree with it. I hated it.
No, I hated it too. But, I mean... So this is the thing. 60-game season. It doesn't intrigue you at all. Like every game counts.
No. I still love whenever I get the opportunity. Now, keep in mind, I'm a unique individual in 2020. I bought a $50 digital antenna 15 years ago. I get NBC, I get Fox, I get CBS, I get ABC, I think I get PBS. That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
You get YouTube.
I don't have internet in my house. I have to use my phone if I want to look at something. But so I'm very limited from what I have to watch, and I like it that way because I know if I had all the bells and whistles, I wouldn't have created all the movies I've made with my kids, or I wouldn't have built the Star Wars things that I've built, and all the other things, the stickball courts, everything else that I've done. it's because I didn't have constant overstimulation, which is really it's really hampering the kids' creativity nowadays. They have so much access to multiple stimulations. I caught my son watching something on YouTube on my phone, and I said, "No, you're not watching." It was like a montage of SpongeBob SquarePants that was put at some techno song rate. I mean, it was just the most obnoxious, fast-paced thing ever. And I'm thinking, no wonder so many kids can't concentrate on anything. They're being continuously fed this overstimulating sensation, which is what I'm talking about with the NFL Red Zone and what I'm talking about with all the advertisements in the ballparks nowadays. I mean, it is just...
Yeah, the advertisements are going to save the games, though. That's
you know
the
what?
thing.
Somebody else said that to me. Don't you understand, Jimmy, that it's the advertisements that make the games possible? Well, my question is this for you. In 1978, how do they broadcast the games with no advertisements on the field? If it's what makes the games possible, how do they do it in 1978?
Things were different then, Jimmy.
Greed.
It's fine, but
nobody in 1978 made $1 million bucks. Nobody made $1 million as a Major League Baseball
player. But now
player.
they do. And there's going to be 40 million players. 40 million players. Like the idea of having an empty stadium and not blanking it with some type of CGI advertising makes zero sense to me. And the NFL, the MLB, NBA all need to figure out a way to agree to that different places can sell that revenue because they can only do so much revenue. But they need to do something instead of having stadiums that are just empty. They need to blanket that with advertising. It just should.
So if you could go to the Field of Dreams right now by yourself, and watch the White Sox play the Cardinals, would you choose to have a bunch of neon lights flashing behind the backstop with advertisements, or would you rather have it be a calm, cool summer night with just the crickets chirping and the peace and quiet of the crack of the bat?
Two things. Am I by myself?
Sure.
Then yeah, I want the crickets. But if I'm with a group of people, there's thousands of people viewing, then I get it. That's the difference. I get to hear the crack of the bat by myself. I get to hear the ball players talk. Yeah, but I get it. I understand everything else.
It's gotten ridiculous.
It's still just a game, and it's going to be great. And it's 60 games of just pure adrenaline to the very end.
So
and
who do you like?
We've never been.
Who do you like in all 6 divisions?
I don't know. We'll get to that. Bomber?
Yep.
Are you excited about the baseball season?
Nope.
Why?
Because it's just, I don't like change. I'm not a big fan.
Just say everything.
You
everything Jimmy said.
All right, yeah. So what
Yeah,
all right,
right.
so okay, you don't like change.
I don't like change.
The
I'm uncomfortable with
NFL is changing right now, by the way. They're not having preseason. They're going through all kinds of things. They're going through testing, whatever else. So change is happening.
That's why you don't like to make it hail?
We have to.
Oh my gosh.
You don't like change?
That was
good. Really good.
That was good
That was
timing.
good. So you don't like change, but we have to adapt at this moment.
Well, and
And
I don't
hopefully-
believe in the, you know where I stand on the whole coronavirus thing. Where I stand on it. I don't need to repeat myself
But
again.
as of this point, the Major League Baseball season has already suspended play. So now they're going from 60 games on. You can't do anything more to be like, oh, the coronavirus. They already made the decision to not start on time, but now they're going to start.
I'm going to watch. I'm not going to boycott it or complain about it, but it's not the same. It's going to be different. I just don't like that.
All right. Can I ask you something else?
Sure.
Did lack of live sports kind of numb you now after this many months?
I think so. A little
Yeah.
bit. I do.
And no people in the stands. I don't like that.
I've questioned that quite a bit about myself. Like every time when we've talked about this, I'm like, baseball's coming back. Am I excited? Yeah, I'm excited. Am I excited?
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
like when
am I numb now to it?
it's like when cable cancels your favorite TV show, and you miss it, and you have like your little withdrawals, and then you're finally just kind of over it, and you
You
don't.
know, the last real big sports event that I remember being excited about was the Super Bowl. I'm a big Chiefs fan. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it was great. I was so into their season. Patrick Mahomes. That NFL season, because the Chiefs had such a great season, was so exciting. Probably more exciting than any NFL season I've seen in 25 years. The Super Bowl was great. We came back. We won it. It was great. And then all of a sudden, football's over. I'm not a big basketball fan. Baseball's not going to start until March. And then the coronavirus takes over. And so since that Super Bowl, which was the last time I can really remember sitting down and just being infatuated with what was on the television, there's been nothing.
Jimmy, that's the last time anyone can remember being infatuated with any sport event.
Yeah, and so it's been a long time. And
Yes.
so, yeah, I'm numb. I'm completely numb. just like you said.
That's the weirdest thing though, that it's kind of like, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, like, I'm getting closer and closer excited. I know I'll watch First Pitch tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about tomorrow in just in a quick break. We do need to take a break. Bomber, you got anything to read for me?
Sure do.
Yeah.
Got a few things.
Oh, two though. Well,
yeah.
She's really fired up to read.
Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the bank of the Mina, Mississippi. It has served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992. With awesome new beers they have on tap, or the old school beers that they keep on tap. The Davenport Gold is a satisfying American ale. The Wise Guys, recognizable German wheat. The Raging River, an English-inspired American Indian Pale Ale. Check out their Facebook page for food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com.
Like that! You like that! Woo! Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction coming soon to Coal Valley. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or motorcycle, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or visit them online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. Stay tuned for an auction date in Coal Valley.
Golick and Wingo.
We sort of made fun with baseball, there shall be no spitting. Right. There's going to be spitting, there's no way around it. And then we got this little nugget in the NBA rules.
If a player gets suspended during the restart for whatever reason he may get suspended for, it's basically sent to his room by Adam Silver. It's like that discipline thing as a parent to your kid. You're in a bubble, so what are you taking away from them? Stay in your room.
Golick and Wingo, morning 6 till 9 on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Introducing First Midwest Bank's newest branch, your home. With our online banking and mobile app, it's easier than ever to make a deposit from the dining room, pay bills from the patio, or get alerts in the loft. The convenience of First Midwest Bank, right from your own home. Visit firstmidwest.com/convenient to get started today. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
To heal, victims of human trafficking need a place to feel safe and rebuild their lives. That's what we do at Dorothy's House every day. Help us continue to serve during these challenging times. Visit dorothyshouse.org/donate.
With the loss of a loved one, planning a fitting service can be a real challenge. At Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, with our personalized service and attention to detail, you can be confident the service will be everything you wished for. We've been serving families in our area for generations. We would be privileged to serve yours too. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
American Airlines wants its middle seat back, Stugatz. American Airlines does not care about your pandemic, does not care about your social distancing. Enough.
I mean, they're ready to start cramming us back into airplanes already, wild spikes everywhere in the South.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. Please don't do that, American Airlines. We understand that everybody wants their money. Come on, your middle seat is an injustice of the highest order under all circumstances. The fact that it exists, the fact that you guys continue in a technological age to put us in sideways in your tubes, in your flying tubes. Get out of here.
I'm telling you right now, I board a flight, someone's sitting in the middle seat, I'm leaving the flight. So, I'm asking for my money back, and I'm making a big stink of it on national radio. I'm warning American Airlines right now. Okay.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
New construction and remodel season is here. Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Floor Pro. Looking to replace that dull fiberglass shower with a custom-made tile shower? Wood or waterproof vinyl plank in the kitchen? Or carpet so pet-friendly it can resist a bleach stain? Visit the pros at Mike's Floor Pro. Quality products, quality installation, expert staff. Find out why everyone is taking the short drive to 215 North 2nd Street in Eldridge. Or call us at 563-570-1652 to schedule your free in-home measure and estimate. Mike's Floor Pro.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Want to thank everybody who held on and finally tuned into the Facebook Live, Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. It only took us about 55 minutes to get the internet up and working here, but by golly, it did, and we've been on now for 35 minutes. But we've been on the air for almost 90 minutes. We are on daily noon to 2 here on ESPN 1170 AM. You can listen on the app and download wherever you download anything from any app store, and listen to ESPN1170am.com. Want to real quick congratulate the local softball teams. Muscatine made it to state. Pleasant Valley made it to state. North Scott made it to state. Assumption made it to state. Bettendorf made it to state. Durant made it to state. Louisa Muscatine made it to state. Eastern Iowa is representing. That's awesome. If I miss anybody, I apologize. I think I've got everyone there. So, all eyes on Iowa at this point because we were the first state to go back to high school sports, and Eastern Iowa really represented. So I'm very, very proud of all those ladies, and they should be very proud of their programs, and their coach should be proud as well. We've had plenty of them on the some of the coaches on the show before, and we'll definitely have them back after their time at state. So congratulations to those local teams that made it. It's a big accomplishment, and my goodness, that's awesome to have that many go there. We were talking about earlier before the break about baseball, and your headphones out, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Okay. Just plug it in. Plug in the other one.
Plug it in. Plug it in.
Move around with the volume. No, the volume.
Help me, Obi-Wan.
Why can't you hear?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You just can't hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try this.
Yeah, mess around. So you asked about, what do I feel about this? Yes, I'm going to watch tomorrow night's first pitch. I'll watch the second game as well. The odd thing about this is I will be doing a fantasy baseball draft at the same time. A draft a league that I've been in for since 2000. Usually we do, it's a keeper. Can you hear now?
How's my hair?
It's still great.
Okay.
Looks like a water fountain.
A league that we've been doing since 2000. A league that started off with I think we started off NL only and auction style, but we had to make some changes. We've had a text thread today, came to an agreement that it's going to be instead snake style. Boring, I know, for those out there know fantasy baseball. But we're in a keeper league, and it's almost impossible right now if we're not all together in the same area to do it online because people have to wake up in the morning, and we have to start at a different time. Usually do it the Saturday of the first weekend of the NCAA draft. We get together. People come from all over the Midwest, I would say. And like I said, we've been doing it for, it was almost going on 20 years. So now this is our first time we're going to have to do it online, and we decided it's going to be a dumb snake draft. And my apologies to all your fantasy nerds out there who think that snake style is the way to go. It's not. Same thing with you fancy dorks in football that think the snake style is the way to go. It's not. Auction is.
Why don't you explain what snake style is to the audience?
Snake style is like the type of draft that say there's 12 people in the league and it goes 1 through 12, and then it comes back and 12 gets to go 13 and then all the way through, right? Just like that. And really the only good thing about the draft is oh, you picked him. I had him on my list. I was sitting at this one. Oh, dude, I didn't think you knew that I wanted him. It's just so dumb. Now, auction, you have a budget, and if the three of us are here, we get to bid the entire time. Now, if you really want someone, if you want to Patrick Mahomes, I want to Patrick Mahomes, we're going to sit here and get into a bidding war. until someone blinks. You understand? How bad do you want them on your team? You make your own team. Snake style, and I'll do this when it comes in the fall, soon, because the fall's coming up, when we talk about fantasy football. Snake style is archaic. It's dumb. It is just the worst. It's the lazy man's. If you do it online, people can just put it on default, like best option out there, and I'm going to leave the draft. No one has to put any type of effort into it. And I'm sorry, I know T-Roy's not here, so I can say this now. Fantasy baseball is for the smart sports fan. Fantasy football is just for the, I want to be in something. I want to put some money in something.
I've never done either.
I haven't either.
You're going to be in a fantasy football league this year, Bomber.
But you just said that those are for...
No, I'm saying compared to the two, I will go toe-to-toe. Football over baseball, it is hard. That's why T-Roy's even says, like, I don't have time to do 160 games. I'm
People
like,
get so into it and they spend so much time on it.
I know it. I've never done it.
I lose interest. Like that 7 minutes rule,
Yeah.
that's me. 7 minutes, I'm done with it.
Let me ask you this, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You get first pick in the snake draft. Who are you taking?
For what? Baseball?
Baseball.
I don't even know where I finished last
Oh,
year.
you know exactly who you're going to pick. Bryce Harper.
I'm taking Bryce Harper.
Come on.
I want to say Mike Trout, but I'm taking Bryce Harper.
I might take Christian Yelich.
Nah. Not even close.
He's an MVP candidate. I think he's going to have a big season.
It's not even. It's 1A or 1B.
Right.
It's I'm telling you, and I think I don't even know how I did. Hey, you know what? Let me see if I can pull this up real quick and see, because they just said the draft is going to be by last year's standings. So I'm on the air. If I look at it, I can figure out last year's standings. Oh, maybe not. Hold on. But yes, if he falls to me, I mean, come on. I might have him on my team. I might have paid a lot of money for him. I probably did.
For who?
Bryce Harper. Oh, I guess I can't even log in.
You're going to pay a lot more now because people know how much you love him.
Well, no, it's not auction now. Now it's a snake. That's what I'm saying. But I think you need, Bomber, you should be in a fantasy football league. I don't care if it's snake style or auction.
I've had football fantasies. I've just never been in a fantasy football.
Anyway.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
No, he's too young for me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Do you think that's going to hurt them this year that there's no fans in the stadium?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because it's going to be a wash for both teams on the field, so you can eliminate that from the equation. It's either going to help or hurt. It could help or hurt, but because both teams are dealing with the same situation, at the end, you're right where you started from. Now, I understand Arrowhead Stadium has one of the loudest crowds out there. I think they set the record.
They did?
Yeah.
Thanks to Bomber. She pointed that out on the air. I was wrong.
And,
yep.
I mean, Seattle has a loud crowd as well.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle's not nearly what they used to be.
So teams like the Chiefs and the Seahawks are going to lose that 12th man, if you will.
Yeah.
But in the end, the Chiefs are such a high-octane team that fans are not. Mahomes is going to run all over the field like a backyard football game and freaking light up the scoreboard with 50, 60 points regardless. So I don't think it's going to hurt them. Chiefs are going to repeat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I believe it.
I believe it, too.
I think there are 5 teams maybe we can name that are going to be hurt by not having fans and 5 that might benefit by not having fans.
Are the Packers one of them that would be hurt?
I would say
they're in the argument, yes.
Yeah.
So if you go, you're going to go Chiefs, right? You're going to go Packers, and you're going to go Denver, right?
Denver?
Yep.
Seattle?
The Seattle was 4-4 at home last year.
Seattle's still a good team.
But they were 4-4 at home. Like the 12th man is not what you think it is. I would actually put up the Eagles. So what did we just say? Chiefs, Packers, Broncos, Eagles.
Cowboys?
I put Cowboys.
Cowboys.
And then even on the outside looking in, the Bills before Seattle. So the Cowboys are there at 5. There's your. I think I feel good about that 5.
Yeah.
The fan base. Pittsburgh should be up there too. But Pittsburgh's like this weird, like all over the place, like where you wave your flags. I don't know how much Heinz Field is a big deal.
Well, and then you got Roethlisberger coming back for. You know, he didn't play much last year, did he?
No. Now the ones that will benefit will be your Los Angeles Chargers, Miami Dolphins, Washington, whatever name you want to call them.
Raiders.
The Raiders will be another one.
Are they going to be in Las Vegas this year?
They're in Las Vegas, yeah.
The Rams.
And even the Rams, I think, would be another one where the fan base isn't very strong, and it was more the opposing fans. So now you're not losing that, the team cheering against you when you're trying to make a drive. I mean, the crowd cheering against you when you're at your home field making a drive in the fourth quarter.
What about these two teams who had spectacular seasons last year? The Texans and the Ravens.
They're like right down the middle. They're fine. I think that, I don't think that their fans made any difference. That's an interesting. Where do I think they're going to end up?
No, I'm saying, will the lack of fans affect them in any way?
No, I think the Texans should probably still win the South. Well, the Titans are going to have an argument. That's what people are going to say, but I just think it's interesting without having the fans there. And when you brought up the Chiefs, that's what I was thinking about.
Maybe they should do what the Korean Baseball League did.
The blow up dolls.
Yes, put a bunch of blow up dolls.
They weren't even blow up dolls.
Started doing that.
They
stuff,
used the
Baseball
actual sex dolls up there, like the $5,000 ones. I mean, the rubber, that was the weirdest thing I've seen in a long time. Did you see them all?
I did.
Did you?
Yes. And when I was watching the Padres and Angels play the other night at Petco Park in San Diego, which is a beautiful park, stands were empty. I was at Texas Roadhouse, so I couldn't hear the game. But I really, really wanted to, because I wanted to see, what does it sound like? I mean, the echo.
They dub it, don't they?
Are they doing that, Jay?
What?
Dub it in the crowd noises?
I heard that they were going to, but it wasn't like overwhelming. I think it was like more like a...
I want to hear. I want to hear the crack of the bat.
You know what I'd like to hear? The organ. Dun, 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 dun. Like the RBI. You know what? What I want is RBI baseball. I want RBI baseball. And then you got dum 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 dum. Dear Lord, if that happens, there are so many people out there, Bomber, you don't realize this. There are so many people out there that are smiling ear to ear being like, oh my goodness, yes. If MLB would do it,
movement.
Like second and third base, runners in scoring position, if they went to the like everybody would be like, there are a lot of people out there smiling being like, oh my goodness, they need to do this.
And here's, to make it even better.
Hashtag on Twitter.
We live in such a computer techno-savvy digital age where they could do this no problem. Have somebody sitting there getting paid. When you're watching it on TV, his only job is when the pitch is thrown, he hits the sound effect. Goes,
oh my! Can we use Mario noises though?
And when they hit the ball,
can you imagine the entire game to the pitch is just. I would die. I mean, I would just die.
I would definitely watch.
I would be texting all my buddies, just be like, "Can you believe this?" And then the whole.
What's that baseball video game we used to play?
It's RBI.
Is it RBI? That's what it is.
Yeah.
RBI baseball.
Oh my God.
By the way, anybody in the Quad Cities or United States or even the planet Earth, if you got money and a mouth and a hand and a controller,
give me a call.
Give me a call, because I'm the GOAT at RBI baseball. I'm career and all. I'm career and all.
I would die.
Jay Foster.
I think we need to start this movement,
right,
you guys.
Yes. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time, Cosell.
Well, you know you have an open invitation to go over to T. Roy's and play the RBI stand up with him, right? Because he's got it in his garage.
Now here's the thing:
play
when you play RBI baseball on the coin-op machine, you have a joystick and you have bigger buttons. Okay, I spent. See, the game came out in '87 for the Super Nintendo.
Nintendo.
For the regular Nintendo.
It was the OG Nintendo.
'87 it came out. So I've been playing that game for 40 years almost. When I have the regular Nintendo controller,
so you're saying it's got to be up to your standards, not like
I'm much better with the regular Nintendo controller, because your thumb, the fingers, the crosshair, the buttons are so close.
Yeah.
You put me on the coin-op, and it throws me off a little bit. I still think I'd be good, but thousands of games.
What would you take if right now your team in RBA baseball? What would you take?
Well, the National League All Stars is the best.
If
team,
you can't have that.
The American League All Stars.
You can't have that. I'm not. Forget the All Stars. Yeah.
when I was a kid, I mathematically dissected because the instruction book that came with the
you
game,
did. Of course
it gave you all the ratings. It gave you their contact, their speed, all their ratings. I mathematically dissected every single team.
Mhm.
And if you take the All-Stars out of there, the best team in that game, pitching, hitting, speed, is Detroit.
Okay.
The Tigers are the best team in there. The second best team is the Boston Red Sox. If you add up all their scores as a whole and compare them to everybody else, the worst team in that game, the absolute worst team in that game is the California Angels.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But I'd still smoke you like a pack
I think
of
the
Kools.
Yankees were like number 2 after that, but the Cardinals were solid.
The Yankees were not in that game.
I thought they were.
The Mets.
Yeah, but
It was the Mets.
you do the Vince Coleman 3/4 length bunt, and that's a double.
Well, that's the
double.
thing. We learned at an early age that if you tap your A button, your bat will cock once like this. I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
No.
Now,
No, they can,
at
yeah.
this
Yeah, they can.
at this rate, if you swing at a pitch and you still hit it, you get full power. It'll still go out of the park. So we were so good that we would, every time we were up to bat, we'd cock the bat this way. It eliminates one of the sequences of the 4 or 5 sequence swing.
Mhm.
It just makes you quicker. So every time we're batting, we got the bat
I would
cocked
just
this
do
way.
the bunt though, and just he was on. It's an automatic double
With Vince Coleman,
Yeah,
you're
with
talking
Vince
about.
Coleman.
But
Yeah.
even with a guy like Reggie Jackson,
So-
if you cock the bat like this, you're already quicker to the ball, and you'll still hit the ball 500 feet.
True story.
Okay.
Vince
I'm
Coleman
ready.
was a hitting coach for the River Bandits maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm.
He was in town.
I didn't
he
know
was a
that.
hitting coach. He was a roving hitting coach for the Cardinals, but he was in town for a while for the River Bandits. Okay, and I get a text message, and someone said, it was a group text message, says like, Vince Coleman is down at Sports Fans. What should I ask him? And I said,
What the hell happened with the tarp running over your leg?
No, it was ask him how he is talking to the River Bandits how to do a 3/4 length swing so he can bunt and then automatically steal second like he did in RBI baseball. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. I said, come on. That's what I want to know. That's what I want Vince Coleman. No, I don't want to know about the 85 World Series. I want to know about how he could do the 3/4 length hit and get away with it. All right, we got to take our second break of the hour. We'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM. Jimmy Siokas in the studio. Jolt and Jimmy. Bombers over here. And we'll be right back. ESPN 1170 AM.
Done Right TV and Security Solutions is proud to be your Dish premier local retailer. Use Dish's voice remote to search live TV, over 80,000 on-demand titles, and Netflix at the same time. Done Right has all the products you need to turn your home into a smart home. Not only do they have state-of-the-art products, they even have their own installation experts for TV mounts, wireless networks, home theaters, security systems, and more. Call 866-84-RIGHT today to get the package that is right for you. Netflix streaming membership required. Voice remote requires internet-connected hopper. Restrictions do apply. Once again, that's Done Right TV and Security Solutions. 866-84-RIGHT.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Julian Vandervelde, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
From lines of credit in Chicagoland to equipment finance loans in the Quad Cities to better cash flow in Milwaukee. First Midwest Bank is committed to using our local knowledge and ideas to help our clients get their business momentum back. Visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Matthew,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
The COVID-19 pandemic is changing the way businesses across Iowa operate, and Iowans now have many questions about what is the new normal. To help provide answers, tune into a new podcast and webinar series by Iowa State University Extension and Outreach called Back to Business, Iowa. This online tool allows Iowans to hear from specialists and industry experts who provide timely answers and examples of what businesses can do during this pandemic. Back to Business Iowa is sponsored by the Community and Economic Development Unit and the Farm, Food, and Enterprise Development Program with ISU Extension and Outreach, also in partnership with the Iowa Small Business Development Centers. The recordings are available on the Back to Business Iowa website, found at www.extension.iastate.edu/FFED/enterprise-development.
We've all spent a lot of time at home lately. Has the look of your kitchen and bath been wearing on you? Time to complete the home renovation of your dreams. And for this, you need an all-star. You need to call Mike at All-Star Home Services. Check out their past transformations at all-starhomeservices.com with financing available and $500 off your complete kitchen or bath project for a limited time. Call now. All-Star Home Services, 563-299-3786 or visit all-starhomeservices.com.
The mission at EdEase Iowa is to promote the advancement of Iowa education. By collaborating with and donating to Iowa schools and teachers, EdEase Iowa works to provide a quality learning environment for Iowa children. By helping Iowa schools succeed, we can create a better future for our youth. This summer, EdEase Iowa has partnered with Usborne Books for a book fair fundraiser. All proceeds of this fundraiser will go to fulfilling their mission. Purchase a book, donate today, and learn more at edeaseia.com. That's EDEASEIA.com.
Now is the time to get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Receive a 50% match on your first online deposit up to $200 for all brand new accounts now through August 31st. Sign up at Rhythm City Casino Resort or Riverside Casino and Golf Resort to qualify for the new account deposit match. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for complete details and restrictions. Then start betting on your phone anywhere in Iowa. Get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
When you're listening to the best sports talk, you know you found your sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, welcome back to ESPN 1170 AM. Listen to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Just got done talking about what teams in the NFL are going to be affected by not having fans, which ones we think the top five are, which ones we think the bottom five will be, who's going to benefit from it the most. But let's wrap this up. This isn't written in stone. Jimmy, you're not... You may not watch some baseball or whatever else. Who do you like this year to win the World Series?
The World Series.
Yeah, or you can just start with your divisions. You can do whatever else.
Do it in your Cosell voice, please.
This is Howard Cosell.
Yeah, Howard Cosell. Does anybody in America like you?
Of course.
No.
A good-looking, handsome Jewish lawyer from the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a toupee. It's my natural hair. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Major League Baseball in the future. In the year 2020, I may not even be alive.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be 6 divisions instead of the traditional 4. There'll be 30 ball teams.
Just tell me who's going to win what division.
You're ruining it, Jay.
You're taking too much time.
I've got...
Yeah.
Because, I know everybody out here is Cubs, Cardinals fans. I'm going to go National League first, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Washington Nationals because they're the returning champs, so they're going to get the East.
Okay.
Until they prove that they're falling apart, the Nats get the East. I don't want to offend either Cubs or Cardinals fans, and I truly believe that the Brewers are going to win the Central. The Brewers have gone to the playoffs the last 2 years. I think Christian Yelich is an MVP candidate. So the Brewers are going to win the Central. And my dark horse in the West, who I really am falling in love with because they finally brought back the chocolate hats and the yellow SD, is the San Diego Padres, the Friars of Southern California. Manny Machado has a chip on his shoulder and something to prove.
The best thing that could have happened to the Padres is if they would have expanded the playoffs, and then you would have had like the Padres, and then you would have had like a 10-year-old Jimmy looking at those uniforms being like, I like those uniforms. The best thing that would have happened to the Padres and Major League Baseball would have been to expand the playoffs this year so you can have someone like the Padres, but they're not making it, not even in a wild card.
You say you could have a 10-year-old Jolton Jimmy.
Yeah.
You could also have a 22-year-old Jolton Jimmy batting cleanup for that team.
Mm-hmm.
But we won't go there now.
The Dodgers are winning that division by far.
I don't know. The Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr., Eric Hosmer.
Double digits.
Okay. So a lot of people say the Padres are a year away from contending, but I like
them too. I like the brown and yellow. I like everything about it. That's why I wanted the expanded playoffs, because I want baseball. Everything I'm saying, going back to the uniforms, what you said, I'm piggybacking what you said from the beginning. I wanted expanded playoffs for a 9-year-old to be like, look at that team. They're playing, and sometimes playing in the afternoon instead of playing at 8 o'clock at night.
Yep.
To go like, I like those uniforms.
Yes.
What is that team? I've never seen anything like that. That's what I want to expanded playoffs for.
Yes.
Right now, I just don't think the Padres are going to make it as a wild card.
I don't think the Brewers are going to make it at all.
Well, I hate both of you for 7 years. I got the Nats, Brewers, and Padres as the division winners. In the American League, I've got the Yankees. And in the Central, I like the White Sox.
That's a good call.
And in the West, I am still torn, but I'm going to take the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Angels, Sox, and Yanks.
Need two wild
Padres,
cards out of
Brewers,
there.
and Nats. And I'm going to go with the I would love this for the World Series. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Brewers, White Sox.
That's first thing. You missed out two on wild cards on both sides of them to come in. So the Dodgers would get to come in at a wild card at least.
The Rays, I think, in the AL.
Okay, AL East. And then the National League. You get the Braves probably in the East, another wild card, and
let's talk about the Astros. Are they going to make it?
They'll make it. Yeah.
You think they will?
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should.
Will they lead? Will they set a major league record with hit by pitches?
Yes.
This year?
Yeah. We got to do the over under on that. They should. So, but I think they'll sneak in over the Rays in there. Angels would be great. National League. You got to think of it. Braves will make it, and we have to think of another wild card, and you can go Cubs cards. Throw it from there. I don't think it's going to be another team from the. Well, you already threw the Dodgers, so the Braves. So it's got to be Dodgers, Braves, and the.
Yeah, the Braves are good.
Brewers, White Sox is not what's going to happen.
We didn't talk about the Phillies.
Well, I'd love for the Phillies to do well, and I wouldn't love. I just want everyone to stop hating on Bryce Harper, but Brewers, White Sox. Not going to be the World Series. It's going to end up being Dodgers and Yankees, and MLB is just salivating over this, and they're going to be like, this is what brings back baseball.
Probably.
We can go back to remember back in the time when they were both in New York, and look at this, coast to coast, and we get both things in baseball. This is 100% rigged to be the way it is. Just like the NBA is going to rig the first round. Somehow the New Orleans Pelicans are going to make the 8th seed, and it's going to be Zion versus LeBron. And then you got your 3 and 6 in the East, the Celtics versus 76ers. This is all for revenue. Be smart here. If you want to talk conspiracies, Bombers, I'll talk sports conspiracies.
Why are those okay to talk
So
about?
you're saying the playoffs are predetermined?
I'm saying in basketball, yes, they know what they're doing. I'm saying this, come on, they're the two best teams. The Dodgers and the Yankees are the two best teams. And that's what baseball wants. Now, baseball doesn't always get what they want. They'll cross their fingers and hope for it. But in this sense, I do believe that the reason why they brought 22 teams into the NBA bubble was that the Pelicans can get the 8 to go get the 8 versus the 1. And they've already set up, I think it's already locked at 3 versus 6. It's going to be Celtics and 76ers, which they get to use that entire history there. So that first round's going to be great for them.
How can they rig that, though?
The NBA has been rigging things for years.
No, but you can't rig the players, how the players play, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
are they all clones?
Yeah, there's just certain.
Are they time travelers?
I'm telling you, I will be shocked if the Pelicans don't make it in as the 8th seed. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. I believe they're like 2.5 games out, but I will be shocked. That's all.
I'm interested to watch this.
And I tell you what, I'm
unfold.
I'll fall for it. I'll watch the Pelicans versus the Lakers first round, but I'll watch all the playoffs because I think now it's so different. Whereas I watch the NBA playoffs, but I'll watch it now with a lot more intrigue.
I'm gonna watch it now just because I want to see if you're right.
Yeah, and I also think it's because I want to get over the idea of the numbness. Like I've gotten used to not having sports. I want to
get back into it.
I want to be like, oh, it's on and everything else. Like
we should throw a party.
We should.
We should throw a party for the first game.
Well, the first game's tomorrow, but you mean
then
NBA,
maybe not
whatever.
tomorrow.
Next week of the NBA, the whole all
get people excited.
Sports
I'm not
party
excited. You know, I don't think a lot of people feel the same way we feel right now.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think it also.
The government is a thief of joy.
They are.
They are.
They really, really are. You know what? And then we've been an hour and 58 minutes plus, and we didn't even talk about going back to school. What it's like for our kids, what we're going to do. We got a teacher in here, what we're going to look like, and we don't really have that much time. Do you have any idea what it's going to look like?
Not really.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Are you serious? We're almost done?
Yeah, we're done. Yeah, we're done in like 30 seconds.
Can I maybe, if
go for it.
Ask really politely, could I maybe come back tomorrow?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, come back. Yeah, we got more to talk about, of course. There's so much more to talk about. So, and it's also opening day. We have more baseball to talk besides just like predictions or whatever else. Like, yeah, I like your thoughts on baseball. Bomber gets to come in and tell us everything she knows about it too.
I know very little.
That's not true.
I know.
And I like what they said
enough.
on Erickson said on the Facebook comment thread. You can gamble on it. You're like, I'm in.
Yes.
We can talk gambling. That's the
right.
first day. We can run straight to Rhythm City Casino and make our bets tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Nah, we're going to.
If you guys got extra money, Brewers, White Sox, World Series, go bet heavy on it.
Nope.
I ain't doing that.
That's not going to happen.
It's a no for me, dog.
Great conversation today, you two. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you two. Quad Cities, thanks for listening, tuning in to ESPN 1170. Thanks for waiting until we finally got on Facebook Live. We appreciate you guys very much. You guys have a hassle-free Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, Quad Cities.
God bless.
From the Sheedy family.